Niners! Bang, bang, Niner gang. Fam! There's only a few more of these weekends to go before all of a sudden we're in preseason, and then from there it's all right into the season. I like to look forward to things like that. It makes me crazy. Something like pizza with everything on it. Oh! Hufanga versus Moore, possibly Odom, is on. Fam, at this point in the NFL season, it clearly already appeared, and I think we probably assumed this even before now, the Niners weren't really interested in re-signing Jaquiski Tartt to an extended contract. With Tartt signing a one-year deal with the Eagles today, the matter has now been officially closed. It is official. Jaquiski Tartt is now a Philadelphia Eagle. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Tonight, go to the phones for your response after going over the media reports regarding Tartt's signing with the Eagles and the impact his exit will have on the Niners secondary, if you're anticipating one, whether it be positive or negative. We want to hear from you on that. Because the Eagles have signed Jaquiski Tartt to a one-year deal. He was an unrestricted free agent. In April, the Niners admitted that they had not spoken with QT, but didn't completely rule out bringing him back, as they always like to do when they don't like somebody. They say that same thing. There's starting to be a pattern to form here when they do that. That's pretty much what you can assume. You can tell it wasn't a priority. GM John Lynch said, quote, "We haven't talked to Jaquiski. We haven't gone there yet. We'll see. He's a free agent. We think highly of Jaquiski. He played a lot of good football for us, and we're grateful for that. Talented dude. He'll play in this league and continue to play at a high level," unquote. The Niners made Jaquiski Tartt a second-round selection out of Sanford, and that was back in 2015. QT registered a career-high 66 tackles, 5 tackles. Well, not a career high, but last year, 66 tackles, 5 tackles for a loss. A quarterback hitting a pass defended through 14 game appearances with the Niners just last season. QT's career numbers look more like this: 367 tackles, 4 sacks, 18 passes defense, 4 INTs, and 2 forced fumbles in 80 games. 64 starts to a 7-year NFL seasons with the red and gold. Some of the thinking of why the Niners didn't pick up Jaquiski Tartt for the 2022 season include his fail episode in the 2022 NFC Championship game, which may have changed the outcome of that game in favor of the Niners. Especially when you got a game that close, every mistake is going to matter, right? So another theory points toward the organization doing as they've done at other positions, which was to invest in draft picks to fill future expensive voids on the roster, such as in this case with Laken Tomlinson and DJ Jones, who will be followed, of course, by Aaron Banks and hopefully Javon Kinlaw. At any rate, it is now on the starter. It is now on for the starter vacancy at the position. The players involved in the competition include Talanoa Hufanga and veteran Tavares Moore. But don't count Odom out. Nah, don't count Odom out. The 49ers needed to improve their special teams this offseason, and Odom should do that. He'll get an opportunity to compete for the strong safety job, though. But the primary purpose for signing him was to get an all-pro special teams player in the building. In 65 games, he has 10 starts with 4 pass breakups, 2 INTs, and 150 tackles. Odom is a machine when it comes to taking people down. Well, that dude, whoa! Yeah, you would think maybe he'd convert easily into a strong safety. But just like Ray McCloud, both of whom are special teams fiends, the best at what they do, there's no policy stopping them from taking starting positions if they can qualify to do so. So every guy out there that thinks he's a starter, look out for Ray and definitely look out for Odom. Both of them are coming for your job. Shanahan and Lynch say, look, I don't give a damn why we brought him in here. The dude is the best we got at that position. He'll play. And with that said, are the 49ers better in the secondary with the veteran battle tested and hardened Jaquiski Tartt gone? Yes, he made a mistake in the last playoff game, but Jaquiski has made a ton of great plays while with the 49ers for years. I mean, the dude has been hard ass. Kwaski's biggest problem, like Jimmy G, availability. Kwaski's here now. You see him, now you don't. Also, are you going to feel as secure with Hufanga or more, or possibly Odom playing Kwaski's position now? Because you know what you got from Kwaski when he's out there. Pretty much, he had things under control. Him and, of course, Jimmy Ward go back way back till they were kids playing together. Communications with them was stellar. And so they knew what they were doing back there. But the thing is, Ward is already feeling good about Hufanga. I don't ever remember J-Dub saying, even his bro, his buddy, his childhood friend, saying some of the flattering things he has said about Mrs. Hufanga's baby boy, Talanoa. About even Tavares Moore as well. And him and Tavares had great chemistry that last year before Tavares got hurt. So who are you hoping to see to fill that spot of Kwaski T? Who are you expecting? Who do you anticipate? Who do you think would be the best for the team? Now, my own opinion on this is this. Now, Tavares Moore has been out for a year, and I don't know what he's going to look like coming back off that injury. And J-Dub likes Talanoa. I don't know anything about Odom other than the fact that his numbers are just ridiculous. But that was in a special teams role. So Hufanga's going to have to be my guy. As soon as I heard J-Dub speak, I knew that, yeah, that's the guy. That's got to be the guy. Unless Tavares can come in and do what he does. Because Tavares is also good at INTs. I think he has as many as Ward already, and he hasn't been in the league nearly as long. We need a ball hawk. I got a feeling, though, Talanoa may be able to handle that a little better now that he has said some of the things he said, as far as the game has slowed down for him out there. And he doesn't see people flashing by him at 100 miles an hour. Now he checks them out as they walk by, and he knows what to do. Instinctive football players can be a huge plus. They can be better than some of the most talented players on the team. Look at Richard Sherman. Not a lot of athletic attributes, but I'll be damned if anybody's going to beat Richard Sherman in his prime at the corner spot, right? So we're going to see. So with that said, let us get busy. I'd love to hear your opinion on what we're going to do at the strong safety position. Did I leave anybody out? Odom is the only guy, right? It's Odom, Hufanga, and, of course, Moore, right? That's the only strong safeties at camp working out for it, right? All right. There is the mighty... Oh, he said that was a little faux pas. I'm sorry. It is bam, boom, daddy, Papa, Dragon, pop, 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 get in here, pop.
And with the third round pick of Papa Dragon's fantasy draft, I'll take Talanoa Hufanga.
Hey, what goes wild? Here comes the fucker, walks up, throws his hair around, shampoo, people running up to it, asking him for endorsement. Bob, so you're a Hufanga guy.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Absolutely. But I mean, big time. I felt that he was the best safety in that year's draft.
In the 5th round pick. We picked him in the 5th, right?
Pick. Yeah, I took him in the 3rd round of the fantasy draft show that we did.
Right.
And the reason why I took him in the 3rd round because he kept going in the 3rd round. I think people make too much. I think people make too much of the old
draft positions. Yeah. Because Fred Warner's proven that.
They make too much out of the t-shirt and underwear athlete. You know, it's really about
True.
I'm saying it's all about that film that you put down. I saw a player play linebacker. I saw him play defensive end and get sacked. I saw him play as safety. I saw him play nickel. And he, in that particular conference in college, if he can play, you typically translate to the NFL. Typically. So
he'll be their second guy from SC too, which is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
SC may get rid of that stigma soon.
Right.
Being a Pac-12 team.
Obviously, he'll compete with more, but I think the writing's already on the wall. He took all the first team snaps. You got Ward already giving him his blessing. So it's probably going to be Talanoa.
Without hesitation. Nobody asked Doug nothing. He came and volunteered that information too.
I mean, it was enough for them to say goodbye to JT, but
Mm-hmm.
you Tartt,
JQ.
like they say, you don't do yourself
QT.
no favors when you quote unquote miss out on a big play. I mean, and he's no lock. He's no lock to make the Eagles roster.
Honestly. Fam,
He's not
GB.
because he doesn't
But
play
here's the
special
thing.
teams.
GB, before we leave Hofanga, though, GB of old points out something. Are you concerned with his speed? A lot of people were a little concerned with his speed last year, but I have a feeling that he'll address that in some fashion this year. What are you thinking?
Absolutely, I'm not concerned with his speed because again, people are looking at what they see on the clock, and if you look around the league, there's not. I mean, what strong safeties out there covering receivers deep? Who?
Yeah, none. It's got to be the free safety on that and the
I'm
corner.
just saying in general. I'm just saying in general. I mean, I thought Tartt was the most athletically gifted safety I have seen in a long, long time. I mean, a long time.
He just didn't have any
I mean,
hands.
he has this incredible athletic gifts.
One of the fastest guys on the team. I didn't know that until last year.
Yeah, but he got hands of stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes when you get there, being able to defend the pass is great. But man, when that ball comes straight to you, you got to catch that.
Yeah, you just got blackout, focus, zero in on that ball, watch it all the way into your hands. Every coach says that. Keep your eye. It's just like a baseball player. You got to keep your eye on that ball all the way. Just watch it right into your hands. Yeah. Jaquiski couldn't get that down.
Yeah, and he's been getting good praise from everybody from the front office to the coaches and things like that. As far as Huff goes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm a big proponent of his, not because, like I said, I just think that he's a playmaker. And as far as speed goes, I think it's hogwash. Like I said before, we had Michael Mueller for the Eagles, got drafted in the first round. I think he was 7th overall pick. Man was 6'7", 260 pounds, ran a 4.5 40.
And the ultimate athlete, ultimate machine,
and was a bust though.
Yeah,
had long arms. He had everything that Nick Bosa doesn't have. He had it.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
And what Nick Bosa runs a 4.8. Patrick Mahomes runs a 4.8.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, what matters is how fast
beat you to death.
Pads on.
It's quickness too, fam. Yeah.
Yeah, quickness. What's his name? Jawan Jennings. He's got that twitchiness, that short area burst.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from what I heard,
Kendrick Bourne, same thing.
Yep.
Kendrick can get in and out of a route within seconds, and I'm talking beating the fastest guys you've ever seen. Bourne's in and out of that route already. That's quickness.
Bourne was good. Exactly. So you got quickness, quick twitch muscles. Man, the main thing. The main thing is can you ball? That is the main thing. Can you ball? Some of the slowest players that have ever played have been ballers. I can make a big old list. Brian Paul, Chris Spielman, Emmitt Smith, Jerry Rice. These are slow cats. But they weren't slow on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't slow on the football field. Terrell Davis ran 4.6 something in his combine.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't players change. They get into a routine. They start working on the speed drills and things like that. Some of them get faster. When Trent Williams came out of the draft, he ran a 4.8. Today, at 34 years old, he runs a 4.65.
And that big is scary. Oh my God.
That's very scary. So, from what I've been hearing out of reports, they've been saying that Hufanga looks faster, he looks twitchier, and things like that. So he's that kind of Jerry Rice workaholic kind of dude off the field that that he's going to do everything that he can to be the best that he can. So he's got a level of maturity that's just beyond what you typically see in a young cat like that. And the same thing for Trey Lance. Both those guys are going to get bigger. They're going to get faster. They're going to play faster. I think we're in good hands. I mean, Jimmy Ward may not. He may be right because Jimmy Ward he's not a bullshitter. You know what I mean? He kind of
he didn't say anything like that about anybody. I was like, when he said that, I was like, ain't I'm stepping up to speak for Talanoa? He never does
But
that for
he said
anybody,
it
not
last
even his
year.
buddy Jaquiski.
He said it last year, though. He also said it last year. They
Yeah.
asked him about how come. He goes, playmaker. He's a playmaker.
Yeah, he did. I remember that.
Yeah, he said it last year. He said he's a playmaker. And I'm just like, that's what I want to hear. And nothing against Tartt. I think Tartt was awesome, but he couldn't stay on the field. Yes, last year was his most healthiest time on. And to keep Tartt, you got to really spend some money there. But they know they're
Hey, what would you have paid him though, Pop? Well, I mean, just if you were going to keep Tartt, I don't know what he was going to be worth. I'm still curious about that.
Tartt, unfortunately, would have to take the veteran minimum just because he's got an injuries history.
I think he did that last year too.
I know, but he's on the wrong side of 30. Well, that's why you can't drop those balls, Ronbo.
I know, yeah. You make that catch, and we're negotiating upwards of 7, 8, 9, 10 million, maybe.
He cost himself some money, Ronbo.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, it's just because I'm looking there, and I'd have to look him in the face. Did I know that Talanoa took 350 something snaps last year? He also won a game for us last year in the playoffs.
Being at the right place at the right time.
I had to look at Alex
Bloodhound.
Yeah. So maybe Talanoa doesn't work out, but it's not going to be for lack of preparation or trying. I think he's going to be fine, personally. Especially,
he'd have to get beat out. You're right. You're not going to beat that. You're not going to run that kind of player off. He's going to have to get beat out. He said, like, George Odom's going to have to come up and shock people. Or Tavares is going to have to make the comparison between him and Tavares more. Because I started to enjoy Tavares, but at times when I was watching him take a bad angle and end up trailing on a play, I said, Tavares, that's ABCs. You don't need to bring out a slide rule or triangle to figure out what the hell was that. And of course the guy's got the position. Why would you take that? I get all pissed off in my head. I'm sitting there looking at that. Because you play that position, Damn it. And now the man is gone. So,
From what I saw with Tavares Moore, I'm just not sure if he's a scheme fit.
He's got such speed, though.
No, it's speed. Remember,
again,
speed is. You know who's not supposed to be fast? Debo's not supposed to be fast. He's not supposed to be a bird. But I don't see people catching him.
Well, a couple of times, but that was after like 70 yards. He came all the other side of the field.
Yeah, but between 10, 15 yards, the dude's quick.
Oh, forget about it. Yeah.
He's hard. He's hard to deal with. And then you got to make a business decision to tackle him. So, it's just one of those things. Is that some people are ballers, and then some people are. And then it's the same thing with Richard Sherman, who I used to kind of hate over the years.
Everybody did.
We knew how slow he was, but he would never get beat. He very rarely got beat.
His anticipation abilities are a gift from God. You can't develop that. Nobody can teach you that. He's just got that instinct.
And I got to give it to him. I mean, he's one of the best cornerbacks ever played in this league.
But
a part of that
first round Hall of Famer, first ballot.
First ballot, you can make the argument. You can make the argument. Because when he played at the top of his game, Seattle was monsters. And he wasn't doing a whole lot on his side of the field. He was the best cornerback.
Quarterbacks avoid throwing. He'd take away half the field.
Yeah. And it worked for us. It worked in our favor too because people wouldn't throw his way. Because he was long, he was crafty, he was a good player. But again, we see speed and we get excited. We always get excited when we see that speed, but
that's true.
Rarely translates.
Rarely
translates. It seems like it translates the most when the speed size ratio is good. So it's like if the guy's like, he may run a 4.5, like Terrell Owens is a 4.55 guy, but he was 6'3", 230 pounds.
Which
and
adds
sometimes
to
you get the freaks.
Why he's in the Hall of Fame. When you're that big and can move like that,
Exactly. Same thing with Kittle. Kittle's probably a 4'6" guy, but he's 6'4".
They had him at 4'5". Yeah.
They had him at 4'5".
Yeah.
Well, Kittle, he just runs. He runs like he stole something. He gets an open field.
He does, doesn't he? He does look like it. Like he stole a loaf of bread out of the corner grocer, and the security's after him, and they're all top athletes too.
He's crazy.
It's a foot race.
Like, some of these really gifted athletes is just sometimes it doesn't translate on the field because remember the offense, they get paid too. They're trying to scheme up ways to get the ball in certain areas. Yeah. So sometimes it's not about that speed. Now, if you do have that God-given speed where you can be out of position and make up that ground, that's amazing. But I mean, how many Eric Reeds are there? How many?
You count them on one hand.
Reeds or Ronnie Lotts and
Merton Hinks. There's only one Lott, and there never will be another. That's a scary individual. Him and Butkus.
Yep, Merton Hinks was he was considered a pro corner, but they moved him to free safety. He just was just doing his little bitty duck dance, touchdown after touchdown. So it's just,
hey, by the way, for kids who've never seen Merton Hanks, go to YouTube and just click Merton Hanks. You will laugh. Oh God, it's funny. I mean, and how many players said, "Yeah, I tried to do that, man. Can't nobody do that dance with Merton."
He had a long, thick neck, man. He was a freak. If his neck was regular size, he'd probably a 5'9" corner, but he was like 6'2". But it's just all about. Oh, don't try to do that dance. You hurt yourself.
No, I'm not even. I'm going to shoulders, and as he just suddenly shift gears, he bring jam, and all of a sudden he just shift gears and drop into that neck, and everything else that he do. I was, God, look at that.
Right. It's like you go down the list of the top players, and sometimes they're just not fast. It's like Devontae Adams, he's not fast, but he gets open.
Yeah.
So like. As far as safety goes, as far as speed, yeah, you want speed, but you gotta have the wherewithal upstairs to process very quickly. In the backfield, get to the spot where the ball's going to be.
Mental reflexes, fam. That's a huge point. Some guys just don't process as quick as others, and yeah, you're right. You need to be able to diagnose what's going up in front of you, and you need to know to get on your horse or whatever to do. That's another thing that's hard to teach. You can't teach that.
Exactly, and that's one of those things where it's just like either you're a baller or you're not. And unfortunately, I think Tartt was a fantastic athlete that had all these incredible measurables. Honestly, I thought Tartt would have been a better weak side linebacker.
Yeah,
I always thought
because again that those reflexes and things like that. Famous, it's really good, Pop. We got to go now, but we had a void that we could just hang out, but everybody's showing up now. It looks like so. That was fun though, talking to you for a lengthy period.
Yeah, it was good talking to you, man. Hey, shout out to production. Let's have a good show tonight, everybody. Make sure you subscribe and hit like and. Let's make Ronbo Sports #1. Let's go.
Well, thanks, Pop, Bam, Boom. Can't wait till the season starts so you can parade them two up in front of the camera after we have won a game to have to say what they say. Yeah. And now that they've gotten another year older, boy, I bet they got all kinds of things to say about this football now, don't they? You got to play soccer or anything like that?
Their focus right now is swimming.
Boom they like swimming.
Boom is a quick twitch athlete, so she's just like good balance, and she's very, very fast. She's the fastest kid in her class.
Ooh.
And so she's got a 6-pack. So
all right, already? How old are they?
Yeah. She's naturally gifted, but they're focused. They're in swim camp this summer, so they're trying to make the swim team. I want to keep them off the joints and the tendon.
Yeah,
keep them off that until it maybe the junior year, and then maybe I'll unleash her on a track team. So we'll see. But they're focusing on swimming. They like basketball, and they like throwing a football. So I've been teaching them, some throwing drills for throwing footballs. But they're looking forward to it, man. They try to stay up and holler at you, man, but they're up at 6 a.m. every morning for swimming. So
There you go. All right. I'll tell you what, we'll wait till football season, and they got to go to school, so then they got a certain amount of time. They got to hang out. So anyway. All right, Pop.
Oh,
Great to hear from you, fam.
back.
I'll be back. I'll be back Sunday and looking for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see Tony. Aloha, Tony.
All
All right, guys.
right, Pop. Have a great night.
Later.
And by the way, production actually slipped and told me, Don Burr, we have lifted, due to the fact that you are being beaten up constantly, we have lifted the ban on you, and you actually can call.
Oh,
Dang.
no.
The dude is comical. Versus the world.
I got the Lions over the Bears here.
Aloha, my brother from the nether, my name's Tony on the blue waters of Hawaii. Tony!
Aloha, Ronbo. Happy Aloha Friday to you.
Yes, indeed, Tony, it is. Weekends are... nobody's ever forgotten it was Friday. Or actually, somebody had to ask you, did you know today's Friday? And they said, what? Yeah. It is the best day of the week, isn't it? Because it started the weekend, because Sunday sucks, because Sunday means Monday's on its way. And Saturday means it's almost over. So Friday's that day,
Well, Sunday won't suck in a couple of months when we get the 49ers back to watch.
Yeah.
But
especially if you got Monday Night Football
now,
as well.
Yeah. But I agree with you. Friday is always the I don't know, the funnest day of the week.
Because you got everything ahead of you,
Yep.
It's like that meal that you go to that expensive restaurant and they set it down in front of you and you go, I get into restaurants, Tony, especially those Michelin star. I mean, and then after 15 minutes, I've taken it out, part of it, I start to slow down because I'm running out of the fun. Don't get me started on food. Tony!
Oh, goodness.
Tony, hey, what are you thinking? I'm looking at Talanoa and I'm looking at Tavarius. And what are your feelings on what's going on at that strong safety spot? And are we a better team now that Jaquiski Tartt is gone? Are we going to suffer, struggle because of that move? Or what do you think?
Well, it wasn't so much a move. The team had signed him until the end of this season, and he was essentially a free agent, right? So he was going to sign with whoever valued him the most, and on his own timetable. And for whatever the reason, probably a mixture of the fact the 49ers didn't want him back, and the fact he wanted to go play for an interesting team. So he signed in Philadelphia. The 49ers, they picked up Odom. So I think there's going to be some competition for that safety position. I am most upset to lose him though, because he's always played with Jimmy Ward his entire career, and I always thought that they had a really good chemistry working together. But at the end of the day, I think it probably was about time to move on, but I do wish that we had re-signed him for at least one more season, because he was on that Super Bowl team too. He was on the 2019 Super Bowl team, and it would have been awesome to have as much of that core defense together again heading into this season, because I don't know. I'm feeling really good about
play
the
together.
defense.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But our secondary does look good. I don't know. Talanoa says he feels like the game is slowed down for him. He's a tremendous athlete. Evaluate him from where you sit, Tony, about Talanoa. Are you trusting him?
Well, okay. I will trust him. I will trust him to know what he's good at, and I will trust him to know where he's lacking athletically. And I think that's really with the top end speed. So he just has to know that he's going to have to play a lot smarter in order to be competitive at the NFL level. I honestly think he's an excellent special teams player, and I think that's where he will end up on the team in the long term. I think that there's going to be more gifted athletes out there who are going to be challenging him, and I don't see Talanoa Hufanga finishing the season as the starting safety. And by the way, I hope I'm wrong. I think the speed is the issue, and he's not exactly like a linebacker build, but given the skills that he has, I'd like to see him take some snaps at linebacker, honestly. But and that's no disrespect to him. I think he's an excellent football player, and I think he's really a special teamer. Look what happened in the playoffs. What is it? Willis blocked the punt, then he had the football knowledge to go and grab the ball.
The radar. He's got that radar, don't he? Yes, true.
He's not. He is. I think he's a solid draft pick. I just think that he's going to end up being big on special teams for us more than anything else.
Then Tony, you know what? Then in that case, I'm going to slide Odom in. I mean, because what you read about Odom, it just makes you go, "Wow, yay, ooh!" Is it possible that Odom could at some point relieve Talanoa of that spot, or platoon or something?
I think it's going to be more of a platoon, environment, and I think just goes to show the way this roster is built this season, and that is with a lot of depth at a lot of different positions, a lot of competition at a lot of different positions, and that defensive backfield is definitely deeper. Which the irony is we lost Jaquiski Tartt, and the defensive backs got the position overall got deeper. So I think for the 49ers, they are in a better place than they were at the end of last season in the DB room, but. I still would have rather have seen Jaquiski Tartt come back in because I think he and especially if they were doing a platoon as you're pointing out here, it would have been good to have him.
Because D'Amico's system, and this is, you remember the years when every year we got a new DC, and I'd always start crying as soon as I heard that, we had a new one, right? Because I said, because I know what that's like. I mean, the guy's going to come in with a whole new bag of X's and O's, and now we got to learn this, and this, and we're not going to be able to play naturally because it's no longer about, I know this defense. It's about, okay, what am I supposed to do here? You're thinking. When you start thinking instead of instinctively moving in any system, you're going to be slower. And they couldn't play fast. And I knew that. And sure enough, we got butchered. And that's what was one of the reasons why we ended up with a Solomon Thomas pick. Because we were killed on the run. And the run's not always just stopped by the interior linemen. That is something that everybody needs to focus on to stop. And we didn't. And we got killed. They set a record on us. 49ers had never been ran on like that, ever. And so we got to get a run stopper, hence enter Solomon Thomas. And I'm not mad at Solomon. It's not his fault, but I mean, he got picked,
Yeah. and we tried really hard to like Solomon Thomas. We tried really hard, but the fan base, the way he left San Francisco too was not on the best terms with the fan base, But we all wanted, that was just a really weird draft year. Big splashes, Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster. Those first two picks of the Shanahan Lynch era, not the greatest, but at the same time, they still got George Kittle and ultimately, built this really great roster that we're looking at right now. So I just wish that we could have brought back Tartt, just because I would have liked to have seen him again.
Yeah, but, he's a good football player, other than his ability to pick the ball off. But yeah. Tell you what though, Tony, Reuben Foster's a good football player. He's just an idiot. I really, that's a sad thing. With all that talent. He just didn't have good sense.
There exists a universe where he doesn't drop that interception in that game as a rookie and takes them for a pick six, and the world is a very different place for him. But he was a bit of a bonehead with the whole issue with the ex-girlfriend and I feel so bad for him. But and then the injury after that, so
yeah. So hopefully he's figured some things out. The guys like that, though, I always wonder if they'll listen to reason from those. And do they have mentors? Do they have anybody they trust and confide and believe in? And if they lay some anything on them, that they absorb it, try to exercise and apply. I always wonder.
Something else is, remember how they were trying to bring in Ken Norton Jr.? They were trying to bring in Ken Norton Jr. He was like the linebackers coach for like a week. When right in the beginning, and then he left immediately because he got hired to be the defensive coordinator up in Seattle. So it was one of those things where they were looking for that former player mentor type for a guy like Reuben Foster, and it didn't even last a week, which was really, really sad.
And Tony, that you mentioned that, it may have had something to do with Reuben's attitude and his personality. And Ken said, you know what? My Uncle Pete's calling me. I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye here, guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, you do have a problem. And that's all I'm going to say. Hey, Ken, you could have filled us in if you knew something we didn't know. God.
Oh, my goodness. Well, the way the 49ers have drafted to get away from the Reuben Fosters and the Solomon Thomases recently, there's been a mixture of injury issues too with like Javon Kinlaw. But
Yeah.
I just keep looking at this roster construction and John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan do take a lot of flack for a lot of rightful reasons, I would say. But looking at the roster they've built, it's just deep right now. If Trey Lance brings game, there's no reason why this team won't make the playoffs. Because of how deep this roster is. Like seriously,
Everything
every
except
single
the
position.
offensive line is the only question mark in most, and also slot coverage. We're all watching for that to see how that develops. But yeah, you're right.
That's going to be the slot corner issue. That's going to be a battle in training camp, and we're going to have a good core of rotational guys. Whether or not it's like Ambry Thomas playing the slot, if Verrett comes back healthy, they can put Mosley in the slot. Dante Johnson, is not the greatest cornerback on the planet, but I would trust him in the slot in big moments. Honestly, if the rest of the defense is good, he's just a really good role player on that defense.
And he knows what D'Amico's cooking, so I'm not mad at that either. Tony, awesome. Look, I tell you what, I'll be back Sunday, and I'll be looking for you.
Do my best, Ronbo. Take care of yourself. Happy Aloha Friday.
You too, Tony. Aloha. Hey, it's Rohan. Rohan.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing?
Rohan, doing great, man. It's Friday. It's just count these Fridays between now and preseason, and Rohan, I'd love to hear your perspective on who's going to start now that they've made the deal with Jaquiski Tartt over in Philadelphia, and we got a strong safety situation where most of us are always a little worried about the newbie in certain areas, and this is one of them. Jaquiski was a stalwart at his spot, other than the fact that he wasn't really great at picking the ball off. But if we're thinking you're going to make a play against Jaquiski Tartt, if you're on the opposing team, think again. He's probably going to beat you. So, but what do you think? Is Talanoa going to be okay? Is there going to be any competition coming in from George Odom? What are some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, first on the Jaquiski situation, I've been I've been pretty confident that even though I've wanted the 49ers to bring him back, I haven't believed Jaquiski Tartt was going to be brought back this entire offseason. Really, since the beginning of free agency, I didn't think Jaquiski Tartt was going to be back with the 49ers. I heard that the way that it ended wasn't necessarily that amicable. And Tartt's been looking kind of right to go to other situations to get a payday, right? He got his payday with the 49ers, but then last year signed on a 1-year minimum deal after getting $6 million in years past. He wanted the deal elsewhere, and he just couldn't get it last year because of the COVID year. And then now this year, I actually thought Jaquiski was going to wait till training camp or even after into the regular season as one of those veterans that when an injury occurs or when a team needs a veteran, you go ahead and you sign that 1-year deal, similar to somewhat what other players have done in the past as veterans. But he gets his deal here with Philly. To me, it doesn't change my mind about the 49ers at all, just because I pretty much knew that Jaquiski Tartt was not going to come back. Now, how does this play out for our safety room? It doesn't tell much to me, but to the fan base, this might be an increased trust in Talanoa Hufanga. And based on what we've heard this offseason, I think Hufanga right now is the guy in the building. He was the guy that was in the building last year, has knowledge of the playbook, and he's been the starter so far. They believe he's the number one guy. And that's no slight to Tavares Moore coming off the torn Achilles. George Odom, obviously a newcomer, so he hasn't been fully immersed in the playbook. But with the defensive scheme that's so important, the guy that knows the scheme knows it best is the most valuable at the moment, and that's Hufanga, especially when a guy like him who's predicated on instinct, predicated on that vision and dissecting plays and getting to the ball, especially in the run game. I think that is what's going to be very much used in a cover one scheme that the 49ers intend to implement this season after they brought in Charvarius Ward. They have the two corners that can lock down on the edges. You have your over the top safety in Jimmy Ward, and now you've got your box safety with Talanoa Hufanga.
Rowan, have you heard any of the details about Jaquiski's the money involved? I didn't see any dollar amounts being mentioned. Did you hear anything about that?
I don't believe that that's been released, but I would be shocked if it was over the minimum. Like, to be honest, I would be shocked if it's over not minimum, but I'd be shocked if it's over $2 million. I'd expect
Hmm.
it to be a similar contract to contracts in the past, but I'd also expect it to be heavily incentive based on maybe on
Ah,
snap counts and
I
things
bet you're
like
right.
that. Yeah, like I'd assume it'd be like that, but I would not expect it to be that big of a contract. They already have Darius Slay, I think James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, so they have a good amount in into the secondary already. But yeah, it could be because at the moment this could even be a training camp deal, right? I don't even know if
Hmm.
Jaquiski Tartt fully makes the roster just based on
Tony was just
how
saying the
does he
same thing.
compete.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does he compete with Anthony Harris, Marcus Epps, and Avonte Maddox over there? That's a question over there. But I mean, I personally believe Tart's a good player, and so I do expect him to. But I don't expect the money to be that high for this deal at least.
Yeah, because the thing is, he's been around for a long time. And if I'm the ownership, what are you going to do? You're going to leave? We didn't hear about any of the offers you got, and so they got to hold him over barrel. Actually, he's a veteran presence that they probably seek to add to their roster if they can, if he can make the team. But they're not going to bend over backwards to keep him on the team. It's a good point. But Rowan,
Right, because
has
Hart
Koski
even
done
knows it
enough?
himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, has Koski done enough though in his career that you would actually give him that 1 year, and then if he does happen to have one of those years, a lot like you look at Jason Verrett. Verrett was just awesome in 2020, right? And then the 49ers, and then he came across with the most noblest thing I've ever seen in my life. He says, listen, let's hold off on the big contract. I'm going to prove to you how much I'm worth this upcoming 2021 season. And of course, we know what happened there. Kwasi comes in and he has the same kind of history about getting hurt and being out for extended periods of time. I do wonder if that's going to be the case on him as well.
Right, and that's also a part of the reason why you give a guy like Kwaski Tart incentive-laden deals, right? He's never
Yeah.
had a 16-game season in his entire career. He's
Yeah.
played 15 a couple of times. He played 14 this past season, but he's never really been fully healthy over a course of an entire season. So you are taking a risk. He's also on the wrong side of 30, right? He
Yeah.
just turned 30 this past year.
Yeah.
So there's a good amount of risk with the deal, but then again, it's just a 1 year deal with little to none in terms of the financial ramifications. And given how you've seen Jaquiski Tartt play when he's healthy, I think that
Hmm.
that is enough upside, which was why I was also a proponent of bringing him back earlier in the offseason before the 49ers went the way that they went.
Hey, Rowan, when we played against the Saints that year, I, s- Kowalski needed to be out there for Jared Cook. If Spoon didn't, the one thing he did for us, if Spoon doesn't, just to put him in an ambulance, Jared Cook, I mean, I wonder what would have been the outcome of that game. That was a shootout because Cook was running around on the other replacement safety. What's his name that we had in there? He was his first week, and he had no coverage skills whatsoever. But he's a good hitter, and he's a good box safety. What is that guy's name? Is he still on our
Ooh,
roster?
I'm forgetting right now. I'm
Yeah, what?
forgetting. Oh,
I forgot about his name. I was a big fan of
this
his
is a
too when he
good
first
question.
came, but Cook just
Yeah.
ate him up. I mean, he was open all the time, and Breeze knew it. He went right to him on every shot. I said, Jesus Christ, there's no, look at the real estate between Cook and the next man. You know, it was scary. So, but anyway, I did
Right.
like Kowalski
But
for that reason because you knew if Kowalski was there, that would not have been the case. So,
yeah, and I mean, to me, I think it's a good scheme fit. I think with the Eagles, especially, I think in that defense, Kwaski is going to be a good free safety. I mean, he's been pretty solid in coverage. I think that the value is there. I wish him nothing but the best. I think he's going to flourish in his role. And like the Eagles are a pretty good defense, right? Similar to I mean, it's not to the level of the 49ers, but when you look at that defensive line, they're pretty damn good. They got Fletcher Cox. They drafted Jordan Davis, Javon Hargrave, and Brandon Graham are both good, and
mm,
then they signed Hassan Reddick to a big money deal this offseason after he got like whatever how many ever sacks he got last year, upwards of 10, 12, somewhere around there.
When I saw them ranked above us, I forget which article I skimmed through. When I see articles like that I vehemently disagree with, I don't usually get into them. But I saw the Eagles ranked at around number 6, 7. We're below that with that particular ranking. I says, Eagles, really? They just picked up Tartt too, huh? Is that?
Yeah, and I mean, I won't necessarily disagree with the ranking of 6 for them. It's just we've got to be higher. If that's like, I don't know if this is NFC or the entire NFL or whatever it might be, but I think we got to be higher, right? I think we're probably at the moment top 5. At the moment, top 5. I mean, we got unknowns like Javon Kinlaw, right, at the moment, but it seems like we'd be top 5 at the moment.
You're right. And it's not just looking through red and gold colored glasses. Man for man, and the Rams will argue all day. And by the way, Rowan, I got a problem with the Rams being ranked number 1 with some of the pieces they've lost too. How is it that you need one guy? Aaron Donald can make that kind of an impact? I understand about some of the other guys on that defensive front, but I still think the 49ers D-line can compete with that. Nick Bosa. Well, you know what? I want to know what Nick Bosa looks like in comparison with Aaron. He's not going to be Aaron Donald this year. He's getting closer though.
And I mean, you said it properly, right? The Rams, they've lost pieces. They've lost their top 2 nose tackles. They've lost their top 2, not top 2, but they lost 2 edge rushers. And I mean, they're losing players all along that defensive line. I understand the importance of Donald, but it's interesting, right? Because it's a hard argument since the 49ers and the Rams, their strategies are so different. One is predicated on depth, one is predicated on top-end talent, right? So it's hard. It's hard for sure.
We're going to find out. And this is the reason why the rivalry amongst the fans is so intense, because the Rams, they get a lot of love, just like the Hawks used to, Rowan. You remember every year, all the networks, all the dailies, put the Hawks in position to win another Super Bowl, regardless to everything, and I mean everything that mattered. And it wasn't always just about Russell Wilson. It was just the fact that they were in Seattle, they're the Seahawks. I used to get livid. Rowan, I said, the Hawks, wait a minute. It's March. Why are the Hawks already rated as a Super Bowl favorite? You know how many years this went on, right? Oh,
yeah,
didn't happen this year.
It was for that entire decade, pretty much. That them two, that they were running with each other. Yeah.
God. And so, well, it's going to be interesting to see.
Real quick,
I just hope
before I go, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the Tartt signing and all that?
Yeah, I knew he wasn't like you. I knew they weren't going to resign him because they wouldn't have waited this long to do so. You know, they went and did all the moves they did. And I mean, as soon as I saw George Odom get signed, I started to smell that it wasn't going to happen. I like Tartt. I do wish that that was the first time I seen him miss a ball right to him. He does have hands that don't really work, but everything else he does so well. I mean, in coverage, he's going to knock it down, and he's going to give the guy all kinds of problems. That play that he made on DK Metcalf coming around the corner, and I had already, that's it, touchdown. Oh, he's that play guy, and that catch that he made with one hand, although he can't catch with two. Who'll ever forget? Cam Newton goes deep downfield. He's got his receiver open. Tartt leaps up in the air with a vertical that I've never known he even possessed. With one hand, he snatches glory away from Newton and that receiver.
Yeah.
Guys, that wasn't human.
Last year, I thought his one of his best games, if not his best game, the Arizona game. There was, I forget which week it was, or no, it might have been. It's either Arizona or Seattle, one of the two, where Tartt was just all over the place in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
He was just making plays, stuffing at the run. He was in the backfield making really nice passes defended and things like that. He was just all over. And while you might not necessarily always see it in the box score, I did find a statistic that says Jaquiski Tartt actually is one of the top 5 safeties since 2020 in completion percentage allowed at 57%. So that's something for Eagles fans to be happy about.
And do you know he was number 1 in 20 17, somewhere between 2015, whenever he got drafted, 2016, 17, he was ranked number one on many a chart. I always knew he was good, but like you're saying, the athleticism, he played in the Super Bowl injured. That was Jaquiski T's problem. When we saw him messing up or
Yeah, it
having a
was the
day,
injuries.
he wasn't feeling well. But when we saw him healthy, that's when you saw the things you saw that you said, wow.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I mean, we might be seeing this Eagles team near the playoffs this upcoming year.
And can you imagine? Kwaski's one of the stars, and we'll be sitting back thinking, yeah, well, we knew we could play. Ron, always a pleasure. Let's get together Sunday if you got time. Go ahead.
Yeah. And Ronbo, real quick, check out my most recent article. That might be a headline for you at some point.
I don't give it away. I already know what you're talking about.
I won't.
I was thinking about doing that Sunday, actually.
Go for
I saw
it.
you.
All right.
You know, I always watch what you do. All right. So we'll leave that. And Sunday, yeah. When we do Sunday's show, you'll know it was Rowan inspired. All right, Rowan.
All right. Thank you, man. I'll see you then.
Thank you, fam. Have a great night.
You too.
Hey, Eric. Eric. Oh, Eric, where you are. Just loving Eric called in. Eric used to be sitting in his car like a private detective. And he just took a few moments out from what he was doing or whatever investigation was on to give us a holler. Eric, how you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Eric, man, we're looking at, Jaquiski T's on his way to Philadelphia. And, I for some reason, I kind of suspected he wasn't going to get re-signed. But you know who we have now? We have Talanoa. We have, of course, Tavares Moore's on his way back. I don't know how well recovered he is, but Achilles is very serious. Then you have Odom, who's going to be our special teams ace for now, unless he does things different. I mean, are you feeling comfortable with how it's going to be looking at that strong safety position?
Yeah, I think if the Niners, didn't feel confident in that position, they would have signed Tartt.
Yeah,
and it's pretty clear that they just wanted to move off of him. Maybe it was the play. Obviously everybody knows the play. Maybe it was the play that did make them not want to bring him back, because at the end of the day, the guys even on the field, you expect them to make that play.
Yeah.
Obviously he didn't make the play, so that's why he's probably not on this team anymore. Obviously you don't want that play to reflect his entire career here. He was a very good player for us.
True.
I wish they would reward him in some type of way. I don't know how that would be, but just reward the guy in some type of way. He was one of the longest 49ers. I believe we got him in 2015.
Yeah, he's Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, Jaquiski T. These guys, they've been around for a while with the 49ers.
I believe he was the second, right behind Jimmy Ward, I believe. Jimmy Ward is 2014.
Ward came first, and Tartt came next. So, yeah.
Yeah, so, hopefully they do reward him in some way, but I don't think it's going to affect the team. I think Hufanga is going to take that next step. Everyone's saying he already has. He's going to get better. That just takes reps. I think he's going to be really good for us. And they do have backups. Obviously, Tre'Davious Ward, he's pretty good. Hopefully he heals up from that. I believe it's an Achilles.
It's been a year.
He does good.
Was it this time last? It was early. He injured that Achilles early, so it should be pretty much okay.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I'm watching Don Burr in the chat. It's so funny. I was saying in the chat that the Lions have one playoff win in the entire Super Bowl era. I think that is so funny, and it's funny to me that the one playoff win they have is against the Cowboys. So if you're a Cowboys fan, you should shut the hell up, because you let the Lions beat you.
It doesn't matter what time in history it was.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
I would be ashamed if I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
but
Cowboys, they have no shame. They've never had any shame.
And for the Rams fans in the chat, it's so funny. I see marketing slow. He's always, saying Stafford over Brady. Brady has beaten the Rams in the Super Bowl twice, so he has no room to talk.
And you can't count how many times he's beaten Detroit with Stafford over there.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how he begins to make those kind of statements. Another shameless individual.
Yeah. And it's typically the people that talk this type of shit to Tom Brady, where he beats the shit out of you in the next championship game. I would not be surprised if it's Bucks Rams in the championship game, and Brady goes off. And I guarantee every Niner fan in this chat is gonna shit on marketing slow. I'm telling you, it happens. I mean, it's happened to us. I mean, I remember week 3 versus the Packers. The Packers had lost their entire offensive line. We were all talking about how Buffalo was going to shit on Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
And I don't even think we got a sack that night.
We did not.
It happened. The karma does get people that talk a lot of shit, and it's going to happen in marketing slow. So you better watch out with that type of shit, because this is Tom Brady we're talking about, the guy that he whips the shit out of you when you keep talking shit.
Man,
so
that old
gunfighter,
man.
and it's so funny. I
don't know how people even begin to think to talk crap about Tom Brady in that kind of situation. That's just silly.
And another thing, I don't even think the Rams are the best team in LA. I mean, if you look at the Chargers, they have a better quarterback. They have a better running back.
I like that.
I think they have a better. I would say they have a better defense. They have a better defensive line. They have Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
They did pick up, I believe, interior defensive linemen. They have Derwin James back there. They picked up J.C. Jackson. They've had a good secondary for years, and I believe they've been picking up linebackers for the draft. They have a pretty clean defense, and they just picked up, I believe, Corey Lindsey, who was, I think, rated the second. I believe a couple years ago he was the number 1 ranked center when we went after Alex Mack. He was the other center in free agency.
Yep.
And he was rated number 1. So that wasn't too long ago, and I believe now it's Chiefs center. That's why. But I think the Chargers are way better than the Rams right now.
And go ahead and make the comparison, because you know what? I don't think that what's the Chargers quarterback? He's a little more careful with the ball than Matt Stafford is. Matt Stafford survives games. I still think he's slightly overrated. Here's a guy who'll throw that ball into places. And granted, I've always said guys who throw a lot of INTs are a little overconfident, but that's a good thing on one hand, but it can get you killed on another. But Stafford had no business beating us in NMCCG. Jaquiski makes that catch, the momentum swings, we take up a lot of clock, and that game, they do not win. So, because they immediately scored as soon as they got that ball back. And he lost to us in that first game, which got us into the playoffs when Ambry Thomas picked him off. I said, Stafford gets away with a lot. And everybody thinks he's the greatest quarterback, one of the greatest. He ain't going to Hall of Fame first ballot.
Yeah, no. Justin Herbert's a way better quarterback than him. He's definitive top 5 already.
Yeah.
He's the best quarterback in LA, so I don't know why the hell there goes marketing pro. Stafford owns Brady or some shit. You're not even the best quarterback in LA. That's just a bunch of horse shit. Justin Herbert shits on Stafford. And then Austin Eckler is better than Cam Akers. Cam Akers can't even stay healthy. Austin Eckler is way better than him. Their offensive line is way better. The receivers, I think the Rams have it, but that's because they just keep stacking superstars. But LA does have a pretty good wide receiver core. They have Keenan Allen. I believe they have Mike Williams. They have other guys too. So they're pretty set at wide receiver too. So I think the Rams are not even the best team in LA.
They're going to play each other.
So before hopefully
this year.
Yeah, we're playing the AFC West this year, so hopefully the Chargers shit on them really bad. I can't wait to see that.
Home team advantage, there is none. They both play at SoFi, right? So that's gonna be hilarious. So yeah.
And I wonder who's gonna show up, because it's been said the Chargers have no fans. The Rams have no fans, besides Rudy and marketing slow. So who the hell's gonna show up to the game?
Ready to go. Oh yeah. It's going to be funny, because if both teams have a bunch of Raiders and 49er fans show up to the game just to heckle them, that'd be so awesome. Oh, God, to be in L.A. And didn't Ready to Go say City of Champions up there about L.A.? That's
a bunch of horse shit. City of Champions, my ass. Oh my God.
You know,
Rumble. It's funny to me how they just stack superstars, and obviously the NFL wants that. I mean, come on, it was Joe Burrow versus a bunch of superstars.
Oh, great point. The league does endorse that kind of thing. You go to NFL Network and they got big smiles on their face when they're talking about what the Rams have just did. They really do. It was annoying as hell last year. I stopped watching NFL Network for that reason. Well, look for the Rams this week to pretty much put into fruition what their whole intentions were going into this season, as they are now at whatever the record was at that time. I'm saying, dude, why are you guys so delighted with that? And they just barely got away from a below 500 team, and you're talking as if they just knocked off the best team in the NFC. And then they went on that losing streak, and they stopped smiling so much, and they started making jokes about McVay. I loved it. I did watch for that. They're going to go through it again this year. Eric, we're going to have our moments to laugh at the Rams. Believe it. Because when you win the Super Bowl, everybody brings their A game to come and get your ass. It's going to be interesting to see how they adapt to that kind of heat.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Bucks Rams championship, and I guarantee Tom Brady's going to whoop that ass. He always does.
And he would have last year.
If it's not in the championship game, it's going to be like in a divisional or something. Something's going to happen where Tom Brady gets you guys back because y'all keep talking shit. And I personally hope that Tom Brady calls out Marcus Sproul by his name, hopefully.
That's the guy you don't want to. You can't talk too much. You notice nobody in any of the NFL circles, networks, or anything. You notice nobody really says anything about Brady. Even other teams' players. There was that one guy from Dallas that said, "Brady, well, we play them. He got no mobility or anything else. So yeah, we got this." I forgot that lineman's name. I don't even know if he's still with the Cowboys. But Brady went in there and took him apart, and into that story. I mean, that was 3 years ago. So I said, dude, I thought you guys had
shit to Josh Allen. Brady talked shit to Josh Allen, and Josh Allen could not say anything. He showed him a picture of a golf ball with the Super Bowl sticker on it, and Josh Allen just couldn't say anything about it. So I'm telling you, if you're a Rams fan, I don't know why you're talking to Tom Brady. He's beaten you twice in the Super Bowl. If anything, you guys should be scared of him.
Well, just like us. They got away they got past us, and they got past Brady. Okay. See, Eric, that's what happens. Now we have to listen to the music. Okay. See, they got away. This is something they never, ever do. Been there, done that. They can't say it. So now that they've been there and they have done that, oh, yeah. Y'all go hear from us until God knows when. Okay. You guys, they got a few more weeks. That's it.
Yeah. And that's funny to me. We played them in the championship game, and I like we said before, obviously the league loves superstars, and we've beaten them 6 times in a row, and all of a sudden we lose the most important one, and obviously they go on to win the Super Bowl. It's almost like the NFL wanted, the superstars. I mean, how many Super Bowl superstars did they have on that team? I mean, there's Odell Beckham, Matthew Stafford,
and the league loves
Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Von Miller. Yeah, the NFL eats that stuff up. The amount of probably Super Bowl jerseys, they probably sold with those superstars, those jerseys.
You've never seen so many brand new blue and gold jerseys running around than you will in greater Los Angeles area and around the world, wherever there are Los Angeles fans, which isn't a lot. But that thing, and they could have kept us out of the first time when they played us on that last week that we came from behind. They had us, and we came from behind and got into the playoffs with that game. I loved it. Yes.
Yeah, well, I think the Niners are going to be. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. Hopefully, they beat the shit out of the Rams. I don't expect them to sweep them. I think we're going to go 1-1 with them at least. But hopefully, the Niners sweep the Hawks.
Get through talking.
Hopefully, we sweep the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Eric. It is actually essential that we do not get swept by the Rams this year, or they're already in the chat talking major trash, and it would get worse. I think they'd be right up there with the Raiders, and you know how bad the Raiders were. My God. But we got to go, fam. Let me, I'll see you Sunday, okay?
All right, well, I'll catch you later.
All right, Eric. And there, hey, Nudge. Come on in, Nudge.
Ronbo.
Naj, good to hear from you. Naj, how you doing?
No, I'm good. How about yourself?
We're just sitting mulling over the fact that Kwaski's like everybody's bro, man. We've been with him for a long time. So he's with Philly now, and we're left with Talanoa.
Yeah, man. I seen that on Twitter.
So what are you thinking? We gonna be okay without Kwaski?
Yeah, we gonna be. I hate it because I low key I still wanted him. I wanted him to redeem himself for what he did the last game, but
yeah, he would have liked to too, probably.
Yeah, I don't like that, but I guess we got our faith in Hufanga, and we still got.
It may have been money too. It may have been cheaper, but I think they just would have gave him. Well, how much is Hufanga making? Is he making $1 million? Maybe not.
I don't know. Probably not. No, definitely not guaranteed. And with the taxes, he definitely ain't making $1 million.
I know. California. You know what though? Because I look at some of these things as savings. You draft, guys this year and then the guy you got coming up next year. Maybe the 49ers never intended on re-signing Kwaski when they drafted Talanoa.
We gave him a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
That COVID year.
Yep.
Yeah.
You pick up George Odom.
Yeah. So we probably never. He get hurt too. So had that toe injury.
Yeah.
But,
every year.
Yeah, hopefully I hope he do good with. I don't wish him no bad.
Yeah,
I don't wish him no bad.
Yeah, because Kwaski was his heart pumped red and gold. I did like him.
Yeah. And then Jimmy Ward, they knew each other since high school. That made it even better back there.
Yes.
So do we still got what's his name? Tavius Moore, what's his name? Tavares?
Yeah, we still got Tavares.
Moore.
Yeah, it's between those two. Yeah, Tavares is still there. He's going to be competing with Hufanga.
Yeah, I like him. Hopefully, he tore his Achilles though, didn't he?
Yeah, last year. Early in the season, I don't know how long it takes to get over that kind of injury. If he's going to trust it, if he's going to be, because then he looked paranoid, probably feel paranoid about exploding off of that foot. Maybe not. I don't know.
He's fast.
Yeah, when you're that fast,
that pop again. Coming into himself. He was coming to himself until he got hurt. Because I remember that game where I don't know what he did. He might have caught an interception. After he caught it, he pointed his finger at Salah and shook his. I don't know if you remember that. He was shaking his finger at Salah.
I don't remember that. I do know that he had a couple INTs. He had one in the Super Bowl. He had one in the playoffs against Aaron Rodgers. There were times, the only problem I had with him is on pursuit sometimes. He'd take positions on the field, angles, and I'd say, Tavares, what the hell is he? Why you want to?
Yeah.
Clearly that, oh no. And of course, he didn't catch up. Yes, man. So those are coaching errors, though. That could be corrected. There's drills and there's things they could look at on film to make him better understand that. So maybe that's why he was shaking his finger at false Salah. God. But anyway, that's what we're left with.
But I heard y'all was talking junk about the Rams. I wanted to say they got about 4 more years till they pack up and go back to St. Louis.
You give them that long? Or someplace?
I go.
Because
if they ain't nobody going to the games when they winning once.
And you keep playing on rent if you're not getting no revenue. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Naj, where's the next expansion city possible? Who could use a team? Vegas finally got one. St. Louis? Yeah, because St. Louis doesn't have a team now.
They got to. You said what?
Yeah, I just feel like St. Louis still does not have a team, a football team.
They left St. Louis, didn't they? They left St. Louis, went back to LA.
Because, the league's wanted the Rams back in LA for years. That's the biggest market in America. And for not to have an NFC team in Los Angeles was strange. I even admit it was. You got the biggest market good God, and no NFL team. That was weird.
Yeah, it was. But,
Yeah.
they ain't got no fans, and they ain't gonna. If they start losing, they definitely ain't gonna have no fans.
That's right.
They ain't gonna be good long.
That's
They definitely
right.
ain't gonna be good long. They gonna have to. They gonna have to pay. They gonna have to. They gonna have to answer to them contracts.
And that's not. And the hard part's going to be if the fans aren't coming in. Television can't take care of a team entirely. Even though it's the parking lot, the concession, those high priced boxes. Those have to sell. That plugs another gap. All right, Rams are watching you guys slowly melt back down to raw material.
And then don't let social media see an empty stadium week in and week out.
Photos for days.
Oh, yeah, don't let them get it.
Remember they used to do that to us? Remember we were losing?
Yeah.
And every social media, this is a scene, the entire upper left side, you can count, you see 4 bodies possibly. That those could be part of the staff. We're not sure. And the guy's going on. And we didn't have nobody watching the games. And then when they did get a part of where there were fans, there'd be partly 49er fans and then opposing teams fans. That was 2015, 16?
Yeah.
Man.
Them Tom Fuller, Kelly days.
Yeah.
Hockey days.
49ers were selling tickets in bulk to organizations that had other teams. Damn.
Now we had Carlos Hyde then. He was doing his thing. Can't take that from him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
even Cap couldn't bring in the fans, That was scary.
Yeah.
But we didn't have no.
I don't know. That's why I wish I was in the West Coast. I'd have been up there. I'd have been supporting the guys.
Yeah, it got to the point, and we had the airplanes flying overhead for encouraging Jed York to sell the team. People were chipping in money.
He redeemed himself. I wanted him to sell the team too. I didn't. Because he had a couple bad hires, but he redeemed himself with Calvin Lynch.
And insisted, and he grew up because the fact is he knew that with Trent Baalke running around there, and Trent Baalke bent his mind in the wrong direction. Trent was just abusing Jed was a kid. He didn't know what he was doing. He thought Trent Baalke was a god. Yeah. And Baalke went in and did what he did, and Baalke was trying to lord over the whole organization. Baalke was trying to become the next GM or the next president or something. So, and then Jed finally woke up. Okay, Trent, you got to go now. And you get Chip's going with you. Don't feel bad. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then he went and
I
got
wonder how
Jed.
it would have been if we would have kept Lynch, though.
Lynch?
Not Lynch. I meant Harbaugh. My fault. I wonder how it would have been.
Yeah. You know what? That's another story because Harbaugh has a shelf life. He's already worn it out in Michigan. This is why he was looking to go back in the NFL. There's something about him. You got a 3-year window with Harbaugh. And then he goes start turning to something else.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The players, remember some of the players were talking bad about him in some of those media conferences? Well, not media conferences, the social, actually, writers were starting to say things about what players were saying about him. And I said, no.
I know that.
Yeah, he was losing the locker room.
Yeah, he was hard on him, wasn't he?
Yeah. That's what they said they got tired of. He would get in your face and accuse you of basically not playing your hardest out there. That was a motivating factor in the beginning, but you can't do that with grown men too long. You got yeah.
That's they got kids and families.
Yeah. And then they came to deal when Trent tried to trade him to Cleveland for Flash. Flash Gordon. A lot of people wow. You first think
Who?
Gordon was like the premier wide receiver at that time in Cleveland who had drug issues.
Yeah.
So
who did he try to trade for?
Yeah, Harbaugh. They was going to trade to Cleveland for Flash Gordon.
Oh, we were going to trade Harbaugh for them?
Yeah. And then of course it didn't go down. So they says there's no truth to the fact that we tried to trade Jim Harbaugh to Cleveland. And Harbaugh knew it was true. He became a lame duck coach that year, and we went 8-8. Remember? It was kind of a sad
that's
year.
when we split.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
We
was our
lost some
last,
game-
and then after that, we went downhill.
Yeah. We lost some games that year we should have won, though. They were close. Really close. The 49ers
We lost to the
should have
Raiders
won.
that year, didn't we?
I can't remember the Raiders, but I know we lost to the Chargers
Thanksgiving.
on a controversial play. We lost a couple of games at the end that we should have won. The 49ers should have been 10-6 at worst that year. And we didn't finish up 8-8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lost to Seattle. I think, we lost to Seattle.
We always lost to Seattle, though. That was a given. That's the year they ate turkey on our logo. Having dinner on our logo in the middle of the field. And Richard Sherman running up and down the sidelines with the turkey held up over his head, taunting 49er fans. Oh, I hated him. Okay. Let's not go back into that history. It's painful.
We in the glory days now.
Yes.
We run the NFC West. Can't nobody see us, man.
We got this. We definitely got this.
It took everything to go wrong for the Rams to beat us. It took Trent Williams getting hurt. It took
Jimmy out there with a bad hand and a bad shoulder. That's all right. They escaped. They know. Naj, let's see Sunday. Good to hear you be back again. I'll be back Sunday looking for you, okay?
All right, that's a bet.
All right,
You have a good one.
You too, Naj.
All right.
Night, fam. It's Naj, my dude. Hey, Casey.
Yo, what's shaking, Ronbo?
Hey, Casey, man. We're just sitting here looking at, the fact that Jaquiski did, it's certain guys leave the team, that doesn't really, you feel like that's all part of your business. But, Jaquiski left, signed with the Eagles. And now we've got Talanoa Hufanga, we got Tavares Moore, and we got George Odom playing that safety spot. So, do you have any reservations about Jaquiski leaving, Casey? Is that fine with you? How are you feeling about that?
Ronbo, Jaquiski, and always will be one of my favorite players. Jaquiski Tartt, Stanford. You know what I'm saying?
Small school.
Just sounds like that Key and Peele College Bowl, like the Quan shower handle.
Yeah.
And you got Jaquiski Tartt, Stanford.
Yeah.
And then, he's one of the few 49ers I've seen that can take on Marshawn Lynch, not once but twice.
Oh, never forget that. I'm glad you brought that back up. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, man.
Bam!
Yeah.
Unassisted.
And, the Butterfingers is forgivable, Ronbo. What I'm still more upset about is Jimmy Ward, and his bad karma hit.
That was
the guy's still on
uncalled
the
for.
team.
15
He's
more
still
yards.
taking shots. He's still, telegraphing his moves and all this stuff, Ronbo. I don't know how smart this is. I wouldn't be doing it. But anyway, Jimmy, feels like he's got something to prove. And Jimmy's a great player. I'm glad he's on the Niners. I know he loves the Niners. Especially keep his mouth shut. Anyway, Ronbo, that's not why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to talk about Jaquiski and wish Jaquiski good luck in Philadelphia. As hopefully they get 5 wins next year. But anyway, what else is on the plate, Rombo? What else are we talking about?
No, we were
Javon Kinlaw.
Well, you can talk about Kinlaw.
Or...
Yeah. As we were just looking at, are we going to be a solid? Because Jaquiski, aside from the drop here and there or inability to pick the ball off, Jaquiski wasn't famous for INTs. But the thing is, Jaquiski brought a toughness to that position that now the Hufanga's going to have to do that, or Tavares Moore. So
I feel great about Hufanga.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think to answer your question, I'm pretty sure he's getting paid like less than $1 million over the next
Yeah, in
few
the
years.
fifth round, yeah, he's got to earn a big payday, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he will, especially with people like Minka Fitzpatrick getting $37 million guaranteed and stuff.
God,
It's pretty insane. I can't believe he's been there since 2019, man. Time flies. It feels like it was just the other day the Niners
I
were
know.
starting off 8-0 or whatever. So, but yeah, man, I think Hufanga is great, especially after the Packer game. Like those playoff games, it adds so much to
The
a player's
resume.
confidence. And,
Yeah.
and I mean that was just such a big play in the snow. I mean, and who else? Who was the other guy? Jordan Willis. Thompson?
He made the play. Man, he blocked that kick.
Yeah.
That went straight up in the air. Perfect.
So they got some good pieces. Their secondary looks really good. I'm so glad they got Verrett back.
Yeah, but in what capacity? I really wish I knew how far along. Can he run on that leg? Because if Verrett can run, whoa,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Well, I hope he can run on that leg.
By now he probably can, but I wonder to what degree. Can he run all out mentally? Casey, have you ever heard any party like it's all about psychologically? You got to trust it. If the doctor says you're a go, don't hold back. It's fine. It's stronger now than it was before.
Like with Klay Thompson, he's clearly not the same player.
Yeah.
So Verrett was really sticky. He was a good quarterback. He was a good cornerback. But
that wasn't the first time Verrett hurt himself, though. He was looking good that year. He looked great. He'd already hurt himself a couple of times before that too. So you know what? He might be fine. He's used to this.
Ronbo, did you see Steph Curry sink that no-look three late in the game yesterday?
No, I saw the one where he shot the ball, and while it was in mid-flight, he was heading back down court to play defense. Is that what you're talking about?
Ronbo, this man is disrespectful.
You know what I really like? The Klay Thompson, the fake Klay Thompson, who got banned from Chase forever.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, God, that was great. Yeah, big jaws, man. That was classic.
I says, that takes a lot of balls. I mean, he had the look, but I mean, he went out there and it was taking shots. I think at the half. I think some players just look up, dude. That ain't Klay.
He looks like Klay. Yeah, he looks like Klay lost, gained about 40 pounds, and he still made it through there.
I don't know why they banned him for life, though. You could have warned him. The guy had people laughing.
Really? No. Oh, man. I didn't know that. That's crazy. For life. Oh, my God.
So, he'll be all right. It's too bad he'll have to watch all the games from him.
I heard you mention Jed earlier tonight. I'd like to say shout out to Jed. I'd like to give credit where credit's due. I think one thing Jed's really good about is putting smarter people in position to, make choices for the team.
Yeah. You abuse him for a while, but he can think. He's not an idiot.
The way, and the way players talk about him, Kloski's Instagram post, the first person he thanks is the York family, and Frank's always, on a first name basis with him and stuff. So he's one of the better owners in the NFL, I'm sure.
So it's gonna be interesting to make that, because anytime you have a void like that you've had that was pretty solid and new guys are coming in, the standard has already been set. So hopefully they can keep up with it though, because Kwasi
did you look at the schedule this year, Ronbo?
Yeah.
What do you think of the schedule this year?
Terrible. It's gonna be rough.
Oh, really? I thought it set up really nice for them, especially early on. They get the bye week around week 10 or whatever. And
yeah, the bye week's nice, but the AFC West is a new animal. That's just ridiculous now. We got to play.
That's the division we face this year.
Yeah, we got to play that. You got to play. Okay. You got to play the Bucks.
Yeah.
I know we counted.
Did they get the Chiefs at home then, or?
Yeah, we have to play. We do have to play the Chiefs. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
And then
one
they
of
go
them.
to
Yeah.
they go to Vegas and they go to San Diego. Or,
You know what though? The Chiefs
wherever
aren't as
Chargers play.
scary as. God, the Raiders may be difficult this year. You know what? If we lose to the Raiders, Casey, I'm going to be depressed. I hate that.
Raiders
team.
could be really good this year, man.
I know, but I don't want
I
to beat.
really like Hunter Renfro.
I don't want them
They
beating
got
us.
Devontae.
Yeah, I just because
Yeah.
it's their people be all over us. They're not mature people. They're gonna come over here and start. And the Chargers, Charger fans aren't. There's not that many, so they don't say much. Chiefs fans are annoying.
I just
And who else is in that division? Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs. Oh,
got me thinking about the
Russell
Dolphins
Wilson
now.
and the
Mike
Broncos.
McDaniels. Yeah, that's right. They played Denver early on.
Yeah, we played the AFC West. Brady.
Oh, hello. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Brady. That's 5. There's a couple more clubs that are going to be tough.
Oh, they played the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
So you know what, these schedules always look like they look, and last year's schedule was supposed to be easier than it was. It wasn't that easy. So it just you can't look at who's on from last year. Things change. So because we might be able to sweep Casey, if we can sweep the Hawks this year, even if we lose to the Raiders, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Finally, if we can do it, and the Hawks will come in and say, "Yeah, well, you guys, we had to lose most of our team for you to beat us." I'll even accept that. You know what? Here's the thing, Hawks. You guys, when we were down and out, you guys beat hell out of us, right? Except for when Nick Mullins beat you that one year. So don't give me that. This is payback, bitch. I forgot where I was. This is payback. That's God, love it.
And hey, shout out to all the Seahawks fans in the chat. You guys wish you had a Ronbo Sports. You guys don't have a Ronbo Sports. Shout out to all the Ram fans in your brand new attire. You still got your tags on your gear. You guys wish you had a Ronbo Sports. Don't have a Ronbo Sports.
One of them said that was not a fake photo. Remember the one Rudy came up with and I think that was one of Rudy's friends, and they took that photo. He had on a 49ers jersey, and he's underneath this rack with just filled. They just got through stocking it with Rams jerseys, and they had a rack below, and the guy was going through it to find his size. I said, you guys, that is staged. That ain't no 49er fan. That's a posing 49er fan going through that oodles of Rams jerseys. Get out of here with that.
Hey, shout out all the Cardinal fans out there that don't really make a peep because they seem to know their place. All right, Ronbo, I'm gonna let you go. It's never the Cardinal fans that are talking shit, Ronbo.
They can't do it. Every time they got a foothold on anything, things just turn to poo-poo. Oh, God.
They don't really have much to brag about, I guess, but I'm sure they're there. You guys wish you had a Ronbo Sports. You don't have a Ronbo Sports.
Casey, appreciate your family. You know this. I'll be looking for you Sunday because we can't have a show without you. I'll see you then, okay? Yeah. Be careful out there, too. All right.
Best part of my week. Thank you for being here, Ronbo.
Thanks,
you, production.
Casey. Thanks, man.
Take it easy, bud.
Night, Casey. And, by the way, I want to address that Niner fan, 5249. Let me explain something to you. I am not a part of your ilk or your type. I don't hate any of my quarterbacks. I support Trey. He's a 49er quarterback. So me trying to like him, like you said, is pure grade AA BS. If he comes out there and does a good job, and in fact, you know what I want to see? If things do go wrong, and there's going to have games where things aren't going perfectly, I'm looking for some of you folks that have that hater gene in you. I can't wait to see your reaction. Tony!
Ronbo, what's happening?
Tony, man, we just lost Jaquiski Tartt. I feel like we've lost a family member. He's been with us for such a long time, been through a lot with him, and now all of a sudden he's putting on an Eagle jersey. Tony, you've seen this because you've seen a number of Falcons fans lead down through the years as well. And it's disturbing if I look up and see Jaquiski running up and down the field in an Eagle uniform. There's a lot of players that end up going other places. I can't stand it. Even when I seen DJ Reed over with the Hawks, actually, there's been a number of us over in the Hawks that bothered me. I looked up and said, that didn't look right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I was I knew it was about business. When I saw Alex Mack in that 49er uniform, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why didn't y'all just...
Even when you see after all these years, when you see Matty Ice over in Indy wearing that uniform, that's going to be really weird too.
I was just thinking about that too. Right? Like, man, it's going to be a culture shock for me. I know that.
Because how long did Ice play?
He went to a better place.
Yeah. How long did he play? How long was Matty a Falcon? That's a long
14 years.
Yeah.
14 years.
Wow. Man.
7 playoffs in 14 years.
So, that's going to be...
His first pass was a touchdown.
And can you imagine what Patriot fans went through seeing Tom Brady put on that Tampa Bay uniform?
Yeah,
It must have been freaky strange.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And if Matt Ryan plays next year, we play Indy next year. They come to us. Yep, in Atlanta in 2023.
Oh, you already know that schedule. Okay. Wow.
Because the last time we played them in 2019, we were at Indy, so they'll be coming to Atlanta.
And Alex Smith came back, and I remember he played with the Chiefs and came back and played the 49ers. Kaepernick versus Smith, and Alex was trying hard to beat us too. I mean, you can go back further than that. Joe going to the Chiefs and coming back to play against Steve Young. It's really God, that looks wrong.
I remember that. I remember that game. I remember that it was a bunch of hype. Not a lot of points, but it was a lot of hard hits in that game. I felt bad for Steve Young because Derek Thomas took it to him.
That's back in those days when quarterbacks were not protected. Not yet.
Yeah. Wow. And ready to go. I read your comments. Ready to go. You and your Rams. Excuse me, Ronbo. You and your Rams are ass.
And don't know nothing about no ball. God, ready to go exposes himself constantly. Oh.
Yep.
I don't pay him no mind no more. I just quit watching. But he says something, I just ignore him. God.
Texas boy has been here for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm like, happy to see you, Texas boy.
Wait.
He never responds to me.
Tony, Texas boy had also renounced the Cowboys for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, he had actually decided to be a 49er fan. He was rooting for the 49ers. Was that after the playoffs? Because I was laughing. Because, man, look, don't take Texas boy serious. That boy ain't serious. Ain't nowhere in hell. Texas boy, explain that while you're in here. Remember you converted, or was that an imposter in here that renounced the Cowboys? But you still went by the name of Texas boy. Might have been an imposter.
There he is now, Texas boy. He talking to Jason said it was funny seeing Debo crying. I don't even know what he's talking about.
And then it comes in and blocks everybody. Who are you talking to then?
Yeah.
I mean,
actually, he blocked me too. But when I'm because I usually have my phone, but I got another password on my computer. I can see them on the computer, but not my phone. I got them both on at the same time. So that's how I know he's
the antics.
What you guys got going on, Ronbo, as far as your team?
No, nothing's going on now. We got to wait until now they're just talking about a whole lot of everything.
Well, I'm just waiting to see if we're going to cut Deion Jones because we're 5 deep at inside linebacker, One of them are probably going to go on the practice squad, probably Etheridge. But I don't see us keeping them. We'll save $12 million on the cap by trading them. That's what we're going to try to do. If we cut them, we're going to take a hit.
Yeah. It's a similar situation to having, we don't know, Jimmy Garoppolo is one thing, but D Ford is even more of a question. He's definitely not going to play, even for no other reason than the fact that he can't play. His body won't allow it. But he's still.
Yeah, you guys are going to get rid of him, right?
I don't know. I really don't.
Because no disrespect to D Ford, no disrespect, no dessert.
No.
Ronbo, after Super Bowl 54, it seemed like D Ford's been just collecting checks for the last 2 years.
I mean, I'm envious. I mean, millions of dollars, and
collecting checks,
just kicking back and my back. I can't even work out this week. Okay, yeah, that's. I'll restructure my contract though. I mean, he knows he's got to at least help the team out as much as possible, so he restructured twice. But then so did J-Dub. This is why nobody better ever say anything about Jimmy Ward again. Have you had anybody in your organization that was offered more money to play with another team? He told him, thank you, but no thank you. I'm on my way. My heart was left in San Francisco. I'm going back there to take whatever they offer me, and they did. Last year, we needed to free up some more money. Dub did it again. Was that this year? Dub does it every time they ask him. I hope he retires a 49er. Put him in the ring. I want to see his number up on top of the rafters, man. Jimmy Ward is. And I used to get in all kind of trouble like I tend to do about supporting players that everybody hates. And I told people, man, Jimmy Ward can play football. He may get hurt, but that boy can play. And sure enough, here he is.
Hey, Ronbo, tell me about the corner y'all drafted in the 6th round, Tario Castro Fields out of Penn State.
I wish I could. That you just mentioned his name. I remember seeing his name. I know little to nothing about him. Tony, you're the guy who watches college ball. You tell me. I'd love to know more about him. I've heard some couple of little bits and pieces about him, but nothing really elaborate. I mean, what have you heard? I don't know. Is he a good football player?
Well, he played with our 2nd round draft pick, Arnold Ebekete, who we took with our first 2nd round pick at Penn State. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if he was a nickel corner, dime corner. No.
You know what? That you mentioned that, maybe that's why he's in camp. As you know, we're looking for somebody to fill the slot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what he does.
They're known for their defensive players. So, he might play some special teams for you guys and be like a backup.
Yeah. I just wish we could get DJ Reed back from the Hawks. Hawks says you'll get him through our cold, dead hands. Because they stole him from. Hey, Tony, he was laid up. He was hurt. The man had a chest muscle pulled. Nobody comes back from those in the middle of the season. He was on waivers that weekend because he had strategic moves to be able to maintain certain players. And the Hawks picked him up off the wire while he was up on waivers. You MFs. Boy, y'all know you ain't right. Unbelievable.
They're always trying to get the 49ers leftovers. Always.
They're trying to get intel,
Oh, yep. I call him Shady Petey Carroll, man. Like a mad scientist.
Unbelievable. That's fine. That's, they'll suffer this year. And for no other reason of having their Pro Bowl. Listen, do we call, what's his name, the safety? I'm still wondering, is that a safety or a linebacker? I liked him coming out of the draft, though.
You guys will have a 1-2 punch with Elijah Mitchell and Tyron Davis-Pierce for. You
yeah.
know what? He's built just like Algiers. Algiers is 5'11", 221. Your guy's about 220, 25, right?
And I think he's 6 foot something, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
stocky, yeah. They're built kind of the same way. Power backs.
Yeah, he likes to run through people and around them, so that's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Tony, we're gonna go and can't wait to see you Sunday. We, as you guys know, we've given Don Bird the green light, so be prepared for that. Don.
That guy's a turd. I was on his ass tonight. That guy's a turd. Yeah, and I can't wait for the Rams because the Rams think they ain't gonna experience no injuries. We talked about this the other night.
And just cruise through the season. They got like you said, the top end team that cannot afford one injury.
Nope. They're gonna be calling guys off the sofa, and it ain't gonna work.
See you Sunday, Tony.
I'll see you, sir. Have a good one.
Looking forward. All right. Good night. And hey, Ellis. Ellis.
Yo.
Ellis, the Talanoa Hufanga era has started. Jaquiski Tartt has now been jettisoned to the Eagles. Ellis, you don't seem like you're feeling any pain over that matter.
Well,
yeah.
I like Jaquiski, honestly, but no buts. I like Jaquiski. I kind of thought that we were gonna, pick him up maybe last minute.
Yeah. Same here.
Because nobody's gonna pick him up, and then we could have had him
in lowballing
because he's a veteran. Yeah, well,
I say that because he couldn't get a job anywhere else. So yeah.
Yeah, his injuries though are, a little bit of a problem and stuff like that. But he's a damn good player.
Yeah.
He's fast as hell. He's not scared of contact.
Boy, he ain't.
He's strong, tall. He's got the build. He's got it. And so. Talanoa doesn't have the build like Jaquiski, and he doesn't have the speed. So he's going to have to make up for that in other ways and make sure that, he's continuing to find ways that he can make sure and ensure that he's getting better, especially at the, when it comes to finding the ball, and different things like that. Akello would be right there, but would never look at the damn ball, and that's why he got cooked so much. So you gotta do both things. You gotta have the man and find the ball at the same time. If you can master the both of those, then you're gonna be in the league for a long time, and you'll be a top rated secondary player. So
you got Tavares out there who's gonna compete against Hufanga. Is Hufanga gonna beat him out? As far as starters go?
Tavares needs to get healthy enough to compete with Talanoa. I don't know how healthy he is. He had was it Achilles?
Yeah, that's as bad as it gets.
Okay.
Next to ACL.
So yeah, so he's not going to be taking shit. He's going to be taking his time if he's taking anything, and he needs to be making sure that he's getting his strength up so that he can be able to come in and compete in any facet, because that's not no light injury, and he's going to have to build up the the strength and the durability to maintain playing that position, because he's got a similar build actually to Jaquiski. He's just not as big as far as weight wise, mass wise, but he's fast and he's not scared of contact. Yeah, Tavares Moore. Yeah, I actually liked him. Just. He kind of, he needs experience. He needs to get his instincts up a bit. And Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski have really good instincts. They're veterans, and they play the position well. They play to get better in the ways that you need to. And that's what was special about the both of them individually, and then also them together. They did get some big plays, give up some big plays between the two of them separately and together at times, but consistency was something that they didn't have a problem with.
True.
When it comes to production and playing well, and covering, the big plays a lot of the time, it was just sometimes the corners were always getting cooked, and they were. They were coming over to try to help, and they just ended up being getting caught in the crossfire.
Victims.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of the time, yeah. So,
but you're right, because
but
between Jimmy and Jaquiski, those guys have been playing together for years since they were kids, and in the same system under Sala and D'Amico for years. They were like the tandem, But it's over.
Yeah, man. So. Much love to Jaquiski, man. I hope he does well in Philly. He's only signed for 1 year, so there's always a possibility that he could come back unless he does really well and the Eagles decide they want to keep him.
Might that happens?
Yeah, it's only 1 year. I think we really need to try. I know Kyle and John want to go younger, and they want to start giving these young guys some opportunities and want to kind of deviate from the older guys. But we need to keep Jimmy.
Not to mention save money.
Yeah, we need to keep Jimmy Ward though. Because nobody's going to be ready. We can't be back there with new blood that isn't really ready. We haven't seen anybody playing the position yet that's ready. I don't know if Leon O'Neal is going to be ready. Hopefully he can get his beak wet this year and be able to show something. And then some of the other guys, of course, Funga. I don't know who else we got. We got Tavarius, but he's coming off a serious injury. I don't know who else we have to look forward to out there.
George
and
Odom.
We need that veteran. Yeah, Odom's getting cooked already in 7-on-7. So
is he really? Where did you get that from?
Yeah.
Oh no.
They were talking about it. Yeah. He got cooked a couple of times already. I mean, I haven't seen him yet though. We'll see what happens. But to me, he looks like a special teams guy. When I was listening to the guy our new special teams coordinator, he seems to be like a good player on the
that's
special
what they brought
teams.
him over for.
Yeah. So we can't depend on that. You know what I mean? That's
he doesn't know anything about the defense yet, though. That might have been
That's
part.
my point.
We'll see how he does later.
Yeah.
Because it ends up happening because Hufanga gets hurt a lot too. George Odom needs to know he's got to be some kind of ready. Even if he ain't as good as Hufanga, he's got to be some kind of ready though. So we'll find out.
Yeah. I just think keeping Jimmy would be good. Extend him for another. Give him a 2 or 3. He was ready to get extended just this past offseason, but it looked like we were hesitant to do that.
He
Jimmy
retires
Ward
as a 49er. Got to retire him as a 49er. Jimmy Ward is sacrificed to stay with this team. They better not do nothing bad to him. That could be really bad for a PR thing. Here's a guy that could have signed with the Eagles 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Anyway, he could have went somewhere else and got paid more money. He restructures everything. I think Jimmy comes into the office and says, look, before you start looking for people to restructure, I'm here to volunteer. If you need to do so, I'm here,
No, it was the Raiders, Ronbo. He turned down more money from the Raiders to stay
I guess
with
I understand him then. It'd have been somebody else. Jimmy would have left.
That's heavy. Well,
I made a mistake. I thought it was Eagles. I know the Eagles wanted him that year. They were talking about him. I mean, at least according to reports.
Yeah, we got to keep Jimmy because, like I said, he needs to retire a Niner. We got to, those things are important, and he's an important piece. As a leader, we're going to lack in leadership in the secondary. I think we need leaders at all levels on both sides of the ball. You know what I mean? Wide receiver room, offensive line room, running back room. There needs to be an individual leader for those positions on both sides of the ball. And in the secondary, Jimmy is the one. You know what I mean? And just like with linebackers, Fred is our captain, and with the D line, whoever's the vet there. Between Nick and Eric Armstead or whatever, those are going to be the guys. But we need to have them at every level. and Jimmy needs to remain a Niner. So I hope they make that happen. Sometime this season.
In fact, Dub is how old now? 31.
I want to say he's 29 or 30, maybe 29, 30. Or
Tartt's
am
30.
I wrong? I could be wrong.
Tartt's 30, and I think he's just a little younger than.
They run the same.
Are they the same?
Yeah, they
Tartt
run the
just turned
same
30.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jimmy wants to play another 3 to 5 years. You know what I mean? He feels like he can do it. You know, if he mentally, I mean, he's not Richard Sherman. You know, Sherman plays when he can't play. You know, Jimmy's gonna, I think, be honest with himself.
Yeah, I know.
That's why he took that analyst job. So it's time to sit his ass down. That Achilles ain't getting any better, homie.
And give him calves either, because they pulled that same calf with the Bucks when he went over there. Played 4 or 5 times, and there goes that leg. Okay, that's it. The writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
Father Time has caught up with that leg, both legs.
Pulling a Julio.
Yeah. Yeah, Julio too. Julio should quit. There's no point embarrassing yourself. Don't embarrass yourself when you've been up to that level and go out looking bad. Don't do it. Tom made a mistake too.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Tom
Brady coming back.
Oh, okay.
You went out winning the Super Bowl. You came back the next year and you lost. You probably should have left after that Super Bowl. There's nothing else left to prove, Tom.
Well, shit. If he's still making it to the Super Bowl, even if he loses, I mean, you got guys that are dying to get to that part of this season. You know, he's at least one of the last 2 teams left. So.
But don't have a bad year this year. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks good when you go out looking good. You know, but don't go out looking bad. People remember this more so than the good years if you're not careful. Tom Brady went out that last year. He was like 4 and 50. It was 13. You know, oh man, really?
Shit, he threw 4 interceptions in a game, man. I didn't forget that. I think that was against the Rams too.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm saying. You don't go out looking bad. Go out while you're still on top. You've had how many? Has he played 20 years? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's enough.
Yeah, I think he hit his dub mark. Yeah.
And then you got your son walking in while you're in there imitating that rapper. You know, Tom is hilarious though, man. The dude, I didn't realize he had the personality he's had to these last 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah. It'd be fun to to get around him and see how he acts, because he seems to be a likable guy outside of football. Yeah. But he don't fuck around on the field.
No, Tom's serious and holds everybody accountable. I like that about him. Well, else I'm gonna go. I'll see you Sunday, huh?
Okay, fam. Yeah, Father's Day. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. Now you got the squad?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll be in as long as it's not too late. I'll still have I'll have my son till about 7, so if you get on earlier. No, yeah, we're out of school. Our kids are out of school.
That's right.
But
some folks, because they're not that old. I don't know how early you make them go to bed. Like my mom's used to do.
Yeah.
It's 8:30.
Yeah. If we start the show after 8, I may have my girls. Right, exactly.
Okay, you got attitude. Go to bed now, Mom. I was just playing.
Right.
You know, he's,
right.
God, he's a stay in trouble. But anyway, I know.
Yeah, peace and love, brother Ronbo. Thank you
Phil.
for the platform as always, man. And
thanks, Ellis.
shout out to the faithful. Yeah, always make sure I hit that like, subscribe, and shout out to Tony. Shout out to Tony Wright. You know, it's all love, man. Julio's a damn good player, but I just had to use him as a metaphor real quick. That boy Treylon Burks is still not playing, though. I heard over there on the Titans. I don't know what the hell happened with him.
Wait.
I don't know if he's still. Treylon Burks, that wide receiver that we were talking about, a lot of us were talking about getting drafted, that Tennessee ended up getting. He's like a A.J. Brown kind of built receiver from Arkansas.
I remember the name. I'm trying to remember.
That big boy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a big dude,
wide
right?
receiver.
Yeah,
the big fast guy.
Didn't he just get drafted?
He just got drafted. Yeah, he got drafted this year, and he hasn't even been practicing. He hasn't even been in camp. He's been MIA.
Wait,
so
contract issues or what?
Him, no, I think he's having some injury concerns and stuff like that. Remember he was having conditioning issues. He couldn't hang. He had to get out of. He had to leave one of the camps or whatever early because he was having a hard time a few weeks ago.
I hadn't been paying attention. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
That's a first-round pick, right?
Yeah, he sure the hell is. So, but anyway, that's not our problem.
No, thank God it's not.
Let's get Danny back out on the field, though. Damn it, as soon as possible.
Yeah, they'll be out there. Our guys.
Hit that like though. Thank you, fam. As always.
Thanks,
I'm gonna let you get back to it. All right.
See you Sunday, fam. All right. And I didn't know about Trayvon was A.J. Brown over at Trayvon, Mr. International believes. And yeah. Anyway, so anyway, fam, let's go ahead and call it a night. I'm looking for you Sunday. And please don't forget to subscribe. I love subscriptions. I really do. Hit the like. I'll see you Sunday.